All right, guys, it's your boy, Atypical Security Guard. Happy day after the 4th of July. Hope you guys had a safe 4th. Hopefully everybody maintained all their fingers and no one ended up in any bad situations. I am heading to work. I am extremely tired. Didn't party too hard, but I'm getting old, so it's harder to recover. All right, today we're going to have a tactical debrief. I came on here, I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, I came on here on Tuesday and I told you guys about the lady that had the gun and the baseball bat. And I asked, what would you do? So I'm going to give you the answer to that. And then I had a first thing happen on Thursday that has, it always shocks me when something happens and I go, that's never happened before. But where I work, it's not uncommon for that to be the case, right? So let's get to the lady with the gun and the bat. If you're unaware of what I'm talking about, I had a situation that happened, I think on Monday, where I came on. I told the people on the live stream that this lady came in, told some of the associates that she was there to kill me, that she was going to shoot me. She starts making a commotion. We go over to the area. She's all belligerent. She's telling everybody she has a gun. The second that she sees me, she's going to shoot me. I'm kind of standing out of the way and behind this lady. She turns around. She sees me. She goes, "That's the guy. That's the guy that's been stalking me." I have not been stalking this woman, just for transparency's sake. So she sees me. She flips out, starts reaching into her fucking jacket, telling me she's going to shoot me. And so my question was, what would you guys have done in that situation? If someone was making that kind of verbal threat, they're making the gesture, of going into their chest pocket, and they're giving you the verbal, they're verbalizing that they're going to shoot you, right? What would you do? And so most people were like, at the first point of contact, they were saying that they would move people out of the way. When the lady got to the door, they were saying that they might have pepper sprayed her. Some people said they would have tased her. Some people said they would have drawn their firearm. And when I say that she was making movements, she was making real gestures like she was going to grab the strap, right? So I said I would come on and let you guys know what I did, and I never did that, so I'm going to do it in this video. So basically, people make these types of threats all the time at our location. This is a double-edged sword. We see so much behavior like this that it really doesn't trigger an illicit response. I think that in some situations, like if I was living in Missouri, or if I was back in Arkansas or Mississippi, where stuff like this is far less common, I think that people in my position would respond differently. It happens all the time. I was keeping eyes on her hands. I was watching as she put her hand into her chest area on her jacket. I didn't feel that she was legit. This lady has mental problems. It's somebody that I've dealt with many, many times. Now, I'm going to give you guys a warning here, right? This is where familiarity can also be a problem. Because just like I said, if I was in Arkansas or if I was back in Missouri where this didn't happen as often, I would have responded, or most people would have responded differently. But I'm so familiar with these people. I'm familiar with them. I deal with them a lot. And people making threats to pull a firearm or to shoot or kill somebody, that's an everyday occurrence, right? I'm watching her hands. And I'm thinking to myself, this, she probably doesn't really have a gun. Now, all that being said, when she left if you heard the story, or if you didn't, I'm going to tell you, she leaves the store, and within 30 seconds, she comes back with a baseball bat. One of the jokes that we were all talking about over the next couple of days was like, where the fuck did this lady get a goddamn baseball bat from? She literally left the store, walked around the side of the building, and came back with a Louisville Slugger. We were laughing because it was comical that she just came out of nowhere with a baseball bat. But if she can find a baseball bat, why couldn't she have found a gun, right? So that just gives me a little bit more you know, as I'm telling the story, it's like, hey man, like you got to be careful with that familiarity. But I kept eyes on her hands. I was waiting to see if anything came out of the jacket. I was in a good position. I felt comfortable and confident that I could respond if necessary. I'm not going to say that my hand was on my firearm, but it was in the vicinity, okay? So a lot of people said they would have drawn their firearms. People said they would have tased her. They would have pepper sprayed her. I did not do anything of that nature. We had 3 officers in the area. I felt comfortable and confident that we could have responded if she would have came out the trunk, so to speak. But again, as I'm telling this story, I am reminded that she did show up with a baseball bat, so maybe take the threat a little bit more seriously moving forward. So the story of what happened that's never happened before, this was on Thursday. This was a crazy week. I guess, like, you know, we had some high heat. I don't know if we broke the 100 temperature here. It was supposed to be super hot. It was hot, but it wasn't like that hot, right? But all week, from Sunday, today's Friday, so Sunday all the way through Thursday when I was working, lots of violence. So I don't know what's going on. Some people are saying that the fentanyl is starting to kind of run dry in this area. Heroin's coming back. We've seen that people are a little bit more aggressive when they're strung out and they need to get their fix. I don't know, man. It was just a crazy week. So we had a guy. I don't know if you guys work retail or if you're aware, there's a thing called Instacart. Instacart is like, it's an app where people basically, they do their online grocery shopping. So if you sign up through Instacart, the person's order comes in for a specific store, say Walmart or Whole Foods. And if you're a shopper, you go to that store and the person's grocery list is on your phone and you pick up the stuff, and as you pick it up, you scan it, you pay for it, you deliver it. So our store does a lot of Instacart. We got a guy, he comes in, somebody that I've seen a couple of times but never had an issue with. So we have a no duffel bag policy. No duffel bags, no pull behind roller bags, no, you know, wagons, like all kinds of little things like that. And our signage, it's posted everywhere. When you walk in through the first door from the outside, there's a sign. When you come into the interior doors, there's 2 signs that are posted up on the glass. So the guy walks in, I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir, you can't come in with a duffel bag. He's like, well, I came in the other day and there was another security guard here and he didn't say shit. He could be lying, but let me just say this little side note here. Guys, if you're working at a location and you guys have standing policy of certain bags that are not allowed in, bicycles, whether or not people can plug their phones in. I get that sometimes you have to make exceptions, but, you know, for the most part, try to stick to the rules and have consistency, because when you don't have consistency, you have issues like this. But he could have been making it up. Who knows? So anyway, he's like, the other security guard didn't say anything, and I've just got the small order. I'm going to be right in, right out. You know, there's no sense in me taking my bag outside. I'm like, hey, brother, look, it's the policy. I'm on camera. Camera's right there. I can't let you in with this bag. I apologize. I know it's a hassle, but it is what it is. He goes, go fuck yourself. I'm not taking it off. And walks right in. Okay. So I contact the manager, the security manager. I'm like, hey, got a guy. Came in, doesn't want to leave his bag outside, so I'm going to go fuck myself. That's at that point, like, my interaction with this person in terms of giving him any sort of directive in that regard is pretty much over. He told me he wasn't going to listen to the policy. I forwarded to the representative of the store, right? So as I'm standing there waiting for the manager to come down, he's just mad dogging. He's walking around, he's grabbing his items. He's like, yeah, stand there and watch me shop, motherfucker. That's right. Stand there and watch me shop. You ain't gonna do the goddamn thing. And he's just talking cash money shit, right? So I call for another security officer to come over, because I can already tell where this is going. I can already read the tea leaves. So the second security officer shows up. We're just waiting for the security manager to come down, and he's doing the same thing to that guy. He's talking cash money, right? So we're just watching him. We're just standing there. We're not doing anything. We're not interacting with him. We're just keeping observation. Security manager comes down, sees the guy. What's the problem? The guy's like, yeah, that guy over there told me I couldn't have my bag. I bring my bag in here all the time, and I'm not leaving with anything, blah, blah, blah. Security manager's like, look, this is the policy. And as soon as he starts talking, the subject is like, just loses it, right? You're not gonna tell me what to do. You guys know what happens, right? Like, I don't have to do a reenactment for all of it. So I've never seen this before. As they're having their exchange, and the security manager is like, look, if you don't want to follow the rules, you got to go. I'm asking you to leave. I'm asking you to leave. At this point, you're trespassing, blah, blah, blah. The subject pulls out his cell phone. He pulls out his cell phone and he literally shoves it into the face of the security manager. And as he shoves the phone into the face of the security manager, he starts acting as if we're like beating on him or something. So he's got the phone in the face of the security manager and he's going, stop, leave me alone. No, oh my God. And we're literally all just standing there, right? I've had people pull their phones out and like say that we said something, or pull their phones out and reimagine how we got to the point where they're being belligerent. I've never had somebody take the phone out and like do a Jesse Smollett and just start, reenacting some sort of scene. I mean, it was crazy, right? So we're all just kind of like, what the hell? And then at one point in time, he's got the phone in the manager's face and he's screaming that we're doing something to him, and he's being so extra and so dramatic. And then he tells the security officer, or the security manager, he's like, I'm gonna fucking put you in the hospital. And he balls his hands up and he like gets in his chest. So we end up pepper spraying the guy, right? So after we pepper spray him, now he gets some act right. You know what I mean? That pepper spray, that sauce, that barbecue sauce starts kicking in, and then my man gets a little bit of act right. So long story short, we get him outside. He's up against the wall. He got the snot, he's got the mucus coming out, and the cops show up. So when the cops show up, Portland cops, no disrespect, but it's so weird. It's like being in kindergarten. The cops show up, you got a guy that's been pepper sprayed, that's like got his shirt off, he's wailing and doing all this shit, and then you have uniform security and management from the store, and the cops show up and they're like, all right, we don't want to offend anybody, so we're going to separate you guys, and we're going to get his side of the story and your side of the story. And I mean, it's just like some Peppa Pig shit, right? So the dude is like, they attacked me. I've got it on camera. They attacked me. And so they play the video. We tell the cops what happened. We're like, this is what happened, blah, blah, blah. And then they listen to his video, and the cops I don't know if they were like trying to appease this guy or like de-escalate the situation by kind of agreeing with him, but they were like watching the video and they're like, yeah, well, we'll look at it and you can email that. I'm going to have you email that video to me, and we're going to take your statement. We're going to get their information. I'm just kind of like, what? So here's my point. Two things, because I'm at work already. The first thing is that I always talk about the importance of staying professional. I talk about the fact that no matter where you're working, what you're doing, when you're in security, when you're dealing with people, you're on camera. It's always happened where people on the peripheral, people that are watching, are videotaping what's happening. We see that all the time, right? I've even had people pull their phone out and videotape when they're leaving and they're upset, they're being trespassed, and they're saying, a different version of what happened that led to them pulling out their phone. I have never been in a situation where someone has produced their phone and then put on a show of something that's not happening. You got to remember, from the video's perspective, from the camera lens perspective, all it's seeing is this, right? It's seeing that because that's what the guy's doing. I've never had somebody, honestly, I don't want to say be that smart, but be in a position where they're narrating something that's not happening. So in that situation, what do? How do you protect yourself? It's the same thing. It's being professional. Once I saw that camera, now I always try to keep this in mind, but when he pulled his camera out where I was in proximity to that, it was very clear to me that he was filming. I went overboard. I am trying to set that narrative. I've had videos about this where you want to set that narrative. When you think you're going to go hands-on, when you're going hands-on, it's so important for you to be narrating what's happening the same way that he is, right? So he's giving his side of the story. He's giving his side of what's happening. I'm making sure that I'm doing that too. So the entirety of the time I'm going, sir, you've already been trespassed. We're asking you to leave. Sir, you've already been trespassed. We're asking you to leave. Repeat, repeat, repeat. When he gets into the guy's face, sir, back up, stop, stop, stop. Okay, everybody back up, pepper. Boom, hit him with the hot sauce. Once he's got the hot sauce, sir, we've asked you to leave. You've already been pepper sprayed. You're trespassing. The police are on their way. We need you to leave the store. Rah, 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 rah. Hey, sir, I need you to stop. Do not walk towards me. Taser comes out. Sir, I'm giving you a directive. Do not come towards me. Go that way. Go that way. Hey, stop. Stop. Right? Get him outside. Sir, you've been trespassed from the store. Police are on their way. Do you need medical attention? All of that stuff. It's on the video. Because in a place like Portland, it's not unlikely that this person might go and get a shark of an attorney. There are attorneys in Portland that literally find homeless people and send them into our store to see if we're going to break policy. And if we break policy, they put a lawsuit on the store. They put a lawsuit on the security company. I'm not kidding. There's literally a law firm that sends people after the store that I work for. So that was a first. I've never had somebody narrate something and instigate something and put themselves in that position. So very important to understand how to remain professional and narrate the situation from your perspective, why you're doing what you're doing, articulating it for the people that are filming on the peripheral, and if the goofball is filming it himself, right? Second, the most important thing, your report. The report that I wrote about that situation, so detailed. Pictures from the CCTV, pictures of the signage. Hey, this is the sign when you first walk into the store. This is the sign where he came in and I came in contact with him. This is he and I talking where I'm pointing at the sign from the CCTV camera footage all the way through the entirety of that situation. My report is dialed in, and it's dialed in with so much supporting evidence and backing up what I have in that report. That is why your report writing is so important, because if this goes to court, you've got his word against our word. You've got our CCTV footage. You've got our witnesses. You've got my report. You've got my images. And you've got the fact that this guy has a history of what? What's his history? Assault in 3rd degree, 4th degree, right? Multiple assaults. Tip number 3. If you have access to any criminal records, if you have a database, and we have a database, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we can look people up. Once we get their names, we can look them up and find out what they've been charged for before. We put that information into our reports as well. Just a little multiplier of who we were dealing with, and that's how we get, a lot of their pictures and stuff. So anyway, I'm at the spot, about to head in. Hope you guys got some benefit out of this video. Share it. Make sure you like it. Talk about it amongst your family. Tell your grandkids about my teaching and information. And if you need help with writing reports, I have an amazing report writing class. I will put it in the comments once this goes live. It's $35, guys. The best $35 you will ever spend, I guarantee you. It is a great class that teaches you how to... I make amazing reports. It's one of the best things I do, all right? Y'all have a great day. Watch your back. Watch your 6. Happy 5th. Stay hydrated and be great. All right, be great.